Good afternoon, everybody. How are you doing? I'm back with another vlog this week. Hope everything's going really well for you. It's a really lovely bright day outside today. Very cold and very windy. I had the bright idea of trying to do a vlog in the park because I haven't gone out this week again because I'm trying to build up my stamina. And I thought, let me just go to the park and try and shoot a vlog there. Nice idea. The lake looks so beautiful. It would have made a tremendous picture. And then I thought, let me just do a bit of a fashion shoot. Like I want to do an outfit of the day. And then I was going to do the vlogging. Well, the outfit of the day was a complete disaster. I was setting the timer on my phone. It allows 10 seconds to get prepared for the first shot. But then between the other two shots, I think it's only about 2 or 3 seconds. And it kept on going off mid-pose. So it was just a joke. I'm sorry. I wish I saved the pictures now, but I had to get rid of them to maintain some space on my phone. But it was just hysterical. And then when I tried to vlog in the park, the wind was so strong, it was just scratching the microphone. You couldn't hear me speaking or anything like that. So I thought, okay, no, back to my usual spots where there are no sound issues or anything like that, so you can hear me perfectly well. But one day I will do an outfit of the day, some way, somehow. It was just so funny. The whole thing was quite comical to me. I'll do it myself and I'll show one woman and her phone, there's nothing we can't do. Well, there are things you can't do with just a phone. You need a camera and a camera person to take shots of you. What I wanted to speak about today is pursuing your dreams. What I was speaking about to somebody earlier on today was about pursuing your desire and continuing to pursue your desire even when it's tough, i.e. the finances aren't coming through just yet, you're very nervous about what it is you're doing, the future looks a bit uncertain, you've got bills to pay and this and that and the other. It's like, what do I do? Do you know what I mean? And one of the things I've come to realise is if this is truly a desire in your heart, right, you've got to pursue it. No matter what, no matter which way you want to do it. Go for the dream that's in your heart. Do not allow it to die and don't put it on the back burner, because whenever you put things on the back burner, we tend to forget about them. And sometimes opportunities can come around and we'll miss them because we're not paying attention to our dream because it's on the back burner. We need to keep things that are really precious to us, that mean a lot to us, in the forefront of our mind. So, okay, with myself with the acting, right? I love doing it. I love doing it. It was so much fun to turn up on a set. You don't know anybody, you don't know the director. Sometimes you turn up on the set and it's only when you turn up on the set, you realise what it is the film is about. You get the title of the film and this and that and the other. Yeah, you might see a few famous people, but that isn't really something that excites me or motivates me. It's just actually being there. I love the whole life of being in the film industry. So I'm an extra at the moment, and I'd like to tell that a bit further on, but I know this is something I really do love doing. And it just seems like this year, all the doors have been closed. Every single door has been closed. None of my agencies have been putting me forward for work or anything like that. Whenever I've seen something on their website that they're advertising for, I go for it, but I don't hear anything back. So I could take the posture of, do you know what, maybe this is a sign not to pursue it and let it go. Or I could take the position of, well, let me try another way to see how I can go about doing this. Do you know what I'm saying? And I love doing it. I don't want to let it go, so I'm not going to let it go. So even though things are drying up at the moment, or have dried up at the moment, I'm not giving up on what it is I truly want to do. Don't let something like the fact that things aren't happening as regularly as you'd like. I want to do this full time, but the opportunity, I'm not getting any opportunity at this particular moment in time. That does not mean I will not get enough opportunity in the future. I've got to keep myself in it, putting my feelers out, keep my ears open, keep networking with people, keep trying until I actually get to what it is I want to do. I know something's going to come my way, because that was when I did it for the first time back in 2000. Was it 2000? I know it was on my birthday. It was either 3 or 4 years ago. 2 or 3 or 4 years ago, something like that. I first did it on my birthday, and it's just like it lit up a fire inside of me. Nothing I have ever done has ever done that to me before. So I knew this is something I want to pursue. I don't know what the end game is going to be, but I know that I want to pursue it as far as I possibly can, And even I'm working on a few things for myself in regards to the film industry. So one of the people I really do admire is a lady called Issa Rae. She first came to prominence with her webisode called Awkward Black Girl, or The Misadventures of Awkward Black Girl. And I discovered her when I was recovering from my very first operation to remove the tumour. I thought she was hilarious. I absolutely loved her show. She was just so different to the sorts of characters I was seeing on TV at the time, especially for black women. She was nerdy, she was awkward, and she had a really kind of dry wit, very dry sense of humour. She wasn't the stereotypical black woman that you see on TV. Like, you know, she wasn't hood, she wasn't ratchet, she wasn't this black woman who's trying to be white, as they call it. She always put her foot in her mouth. You know, she didn't know what to do with regards to boyfriends. She was unused to having boyfriends. It was just a story of her life, and it was hilarious. I love her humour. She's got very dry wit. It's almost quite a British sense of humour, actually. I totally get her. And from there, she was picked up by, I think it's first HBO, then somebody else, and then now she's like a full-time Hollywood actress. Do you know what I'm saying? Because there was definitely a spot for her. She wasn't getting the opportunities that she wanted, so she created opportunities for herself. And her story has really inspired me to do the same thing. Okay, I'm not getting called, but maybe I should consider writing something. See about going on a film writing course, do you know what I'm saying? And then let's see what happens, you know, because I want to do this thing one way or another. If people aren't going to come to me, people aren't going to call me for opportunities, do I just say, okay, well then that's it, that must be a sign that it's not supposed to be, or do I try and find another way around it? If I really want to do it, then I'm going to try and find another way around it, which is what I'm doing. So there's that. I would just say, don't let things stop you. For example, if what you're doing at the moment is not yielding finances, I would say see about getting a part-time job to support that. Yeah, because you have bills to pay, you've got to eat still. If your passion project hasn't taken off to the point that you can do it Monday to Friday, then see if you can get some kind of job in between. I know somebody, like, they're in the film industry, but again, it's not something they're doing every single day, but they've got a job where they're working in the building industry, and the person they're working with knows that they're in the film industry and is very gracious and gives them all the time off they need when they need it. Plus, he's a very good worker. So he's got a lot of favour with this particular individual, do you know what I'm saying? So find a way around it. I know when the money's not coming in. I know when you're not seeing the dream unfolding right before your very eyes. I can understand it can be very demoralising and it can make you want to throw in everything and quit. But you've got to like step back a bit and be a bit objective. Nothing really happens overnight. Even these YouTube sensations seemingly had overnight success until you actually stop and read their story and you realise they've been actually grinding away for years. Like the last one I can think of was Michael Dapper, you know, Man's Not Hot. I remember I first came across his, his program, SWIL, S-W-I-L, which stands for Somewhere in London. I probably came across it maybe 3 years ago, and there's this little episode he did, I found it hilarious. And then I somehow forgot about it, but then, was it 2016, it came up again in my feed on YouTube. So I watched some more of his episodes, I thought, okay, I like this. So he's actually, he writes, he produces, and he acts in these things. Okay, I like the concept, it was really good. And then, just out of it was literally so weird how it happened. He's created 4 characters, right? And one of the characters is a street guy, he's a rapper, he wants to do ABC, got delusions of grandeur, he always messes up the Queen's English, thinking that he's really a thespian, so it's really quite funny. And part of his skit was that he went to a particular radio station and he did his rap, and it was so ludicrous, I was killing myself laughing. I thought this is beautiful, I loved it. Okay, and then days afterwards I realised this thing had gone viral. Somehow, for whatever reason, the culture took to this particular rap and it went worldwide. It was just such it has to be one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. It's the first time I've kind of seen something go viral. So I hear about this has gone viral, that's gone viral, I've never known of it. I've heard of it afterwards, way after the fact. But I watched this in real time unfolding. It was just quite something. I bet you any money you like, he never envisaged that one skit was a thing that was going to propel him into stardom. having been grinding behind the scenes for many, many years. He went to university to study, he did something with television and film, he did something like that. That's how he's able to produce his characters and write the shows and whatever. People don't know that, just think that he's just this one character that just happened to go viral overnight. He didn't happen to go viral overnight. There was years of work behind the scenes before that happened. But I thought it was absolutely genius. I love the fact that it happened the way it happened. I can imagine thinking I was always hoping that my work would get recognised, but I didn't think it'd be necessarily for this or in this way. But hey, I'll take it. Do you know what I mean? So things happen sometimes so unexpectedly, but so long as we're there putting in the work and doing what we're supposed to be doing, one day, when it's our time, when it's our season, it'll take off. So it's just about just really believing what it is you want. If you know this is what you want to do, if you're really passionate about what you want to do, go for it. But don't expect things to happen overnight. It might happen overnight. It might not happen overnight. It might just have to be a consistent grind, a consistent plugging away, and sometimes getting rejected and turning up to this particular event, and if you're a singer, no one's there, or you're not getting called for auditions, you're not getting considered for film roles. If this is what you really want to do, keep on plugging away at it and you'll find a way to do it. Think of a seed, right? You put a seed in the ground. There is a time and season for that thing to grow and blossom. There's a time. Provided the conditions are right, it's in the right soil, it's getting enough nutrients, it's getting enough water, it will blossom, it will grow, but in its own season. You don't plant anything today and see it blossom tomorrow. It doesn't go like that. There is a process to it. And when its process is completed, you'll see this thing bloom. Do you know what I mean? So with anything that you're doing in your life, whether it's something you just started out with now or something that you've been plugging away at for some years, give it time. Don't give up. I know it's very easy to say it, and you've got to put yourself through some kind of emotional and mental gymnastics to really be able to tell yourself, I'm going to hang on to this. You've got to hang on to it. You've got to believe in your dream, because sometimes you might be the only person that does believe in your dream. You're the only person that can see and understand your vision. You're the only one that can bring it to pass. And if you let it go, the world's going to miss out on it. I do understand what it's like to get discouraged, to get disillusioned, but don't give up. Keep on going. And don't worry about other people who seem to have got it together just like that. Don't worry about that. Everything happens in its due season and in its due time. When it's your time, it will happen. Don't worry about anybody else's lane. Stay in your lane. This is your own unique process, and as you go through it, you'll also have a story on the other side. I used to always get tripped up by looking at other people, and I think, man, why is it that they're there and I'm here, but we both start at the same time, or I started way before them? What's going on? But I do know that I am not competing with anyone. I am not in a race with anybody else. This is my own unique race. This is my own unique walk. Not with anybody else, but with myself. This is my lane. I'm to stay in my lane and do what it is I know that's in my heart to do. Yeah, loads of people will easily overtake me, but that's fine. I wasn't in a race with them, and actually they're not in a race with me. I tell myself they're overtaking me, but actually you only think that way if you think you're in a race. If you know that things are seasonal, i.e. that it's their season for them to shine, it shouldn't bother me. Do you know what I mean? So that's a mindset I've chosen to adopt. It's their time now. Let them shine. You know what I mean? And I have that mentality with absolutely everything now, like particularly with when it comes to things like relationships and having children and this, that and the other. You have to be very careful, because like with the Western mentality, everything is about youth. Doing things in your youth, doing things in your prime. Once you get past a certain age, there's like, oh, it's a bit late, and oh, I don't know, you've missed the boat, haven't you? And if you're not married, like your parents or your well-meaning friends might start, putting a bit of pressure on you. Ooh, you better hurry up, I know you want to pursue your career, pursue your dreams, but what about kids? Or, people aren't going to wait around forever, things start sliding down south after a particular time. You want to present yourself as best as you possibly can, Well-meaning people, but people come up with some mess sometimes, honestly. And things like that used to get to me, like constant chirping on about, when are you going to get married? And marriage is this, and marriage is that, marriage is that. But hold on a minute. We weren't born to get married. We were born to find our purpose and fulfill it. If marriage and children and all these other things are part of the plan, great. But please know that's not the whole plan. Those are just a few pieces of the jigsaw puzzle. There are many other pieces that also go in that same jigsaw puzzle. Your purpose is critical. You can have as many children as there are in the football team, but if you have not fulfilled your purpose or even bothered to look for your purpose, you'll have missed the boat. You will have missed the boat. We are all created for a specific reason, and our primary question should be, why am I here? What am I supposed to be doing? What skills and gifts do I have? How can I use these? Those are the kind of things that we should be asking ourselves. So now that I've got that really kind of firmly cemented in my mind, the question about marriage and children it doesn't weary my soul so much. Society tries to make it weary me, but I'm strong enough in my mind now that it doesn't. I don't allow people's thoughts or whatever to dominate my mind. They're entitled to their opinion, but opinion is neither facts nor truth. That's just their take on a particular situation. Typically, the people saying these things, the ones that are married and do have children, are like looking at others like, oh, why aren't you like me? Because I'm not supposed to be like you. I'm supposed to be like me. So whatever it is you're doing, pursue your heart's desire. Don't get sidetracked by the fact that people seem to be overtaking you. I say seem to be on purpose. You're not in a competition with them. You're not in a race with them. So how can they be overtaking you? It's just simply, this is now their time to bloom. This is now their time to shine. Your time will eventually come, but it's not just yet. Your season hasn't arrived yet. So keep on going. And then the third thing is, don't allow other people's curiosity or confusion about the way your life appears to be going to put you off. People always have a lot to say, but you've got to know yourself, got to know your purpose and your plan and where you're going, and not allow the noise from the outside gallery to drown out the voice inside you saying keep on going. Do you know what I mean? Don't let other people's lifestyles or what they have and what they're doing cause you to stumble, because that happened to me for many years. I would look at so-and-so and think, oh gosh, I wish I was like so-and-so, and so-and-so has it all together, and this is what I'm supposed to be doing, this is what my life is supposed to be like. But then I had to reel in and said, well, who said that's what your life is supposed to be like? Where did you get that from? Who told you that? That's what their life is supposed to be like. That's why their life is like that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But my life looks completely different, and I have to embrace that and be at peace with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I just need to embrace it, acknowledge it, and celebrate it. So, on another note, there's a book called, is it Later Bloomers? I'll put a link in the description box. I think this will really help you. You're somebody that is prone to wondering when things are going to happen for you, or looking at other people and thinking you're being overtaken and you're being left behind. Have a read of this book. It's really inspirational. There's so many people who did not come to discover their fullest potential, didn't come to realize their fullest potential until way later in life. Sometimes we think that, well, particularly in the Western culture, you've been trained to believe that if it doesn't happen between the ages of 0 and 30, then you're basically screwed. Not so. Not so. I'll put a link in the description bar for this book. I think it's only available on Kindle at the moment, but have a look at it and let me know what you think. It's very, very encouraging. It's really eye-opening as to when some of these famous people that we know of and some not so famous people really found what they're supposed to be doing and went for it. Sometimes it's a case of them just discovering things very later on, or it's a case of they were plodding away for years and then the thing didn't take off. They didn't get their breakthrough until much later on in life. But the end result is still the same. Both sets, whatever their journey, however they got to that place, they got to that place. So I just want to encourage anybody who is labouring at something and pursuing something, really trying hard at something, you will get to that place. Just stay in your lane, eyes ahead, and keep going. So that's me for this Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? Yes, Wednesday afternoon. I hope you're doing fantastically well. Please communicate with me via comments. I do read all your comments. I do enjoy reading the comments. There's one person I've got to respond to and I haven't responded to them yet, but apart from that, I do respond to the comments. So don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and leave a comment, and I will speak to you again soon. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.